I thought I'd never make it. I was lost in the nether for days.
Oh, well, I remember my first 100 days. Things got pretty intense. Well, it was nice talking, man, but I've got to get out of here. Have a good day.
Wow. I really need to get myself some of those. Hardcore survival is the ultimate challenge that Minecraft has to offer, and with over 100 days survived, here I stand, the coffee-fueled genius, with a full inventory and almost full netherite armor. We're ready to conquer 200 days. Let's go. If you guys haven't seen 100 Days yet, you should check that out. Day 101. The sun was blazing high in the sky. You know, I was reflecting on everything I'd been through. I'd freed the End from the Ender Dragon. I'd escaped the devilish pits of the Nether. Look at those cows. Wow, what a tale to tell so far. I admired my wheat farm when it dawned on me I hadn't investigated the rest of the stronghold, so I knew I had to go back. So I headed out on foot into the desert plains, across my wooden bridge, to see if I could find any more loot in the stronghold. En route to the stronghold, I outsmarted a temple. Now, I didn't press on the pressure plate because we knew what would happen. I mined up all of the TNT, and then I finally got to the stronghold and gently lowered myself down. It was a peaceful, quiet day. Oh! A quick reminder that you should never ever let your guard down in Minecraft Hardcore Survival. A creeper, a zombie, and a silverfish all at once. You couldn't make it up. After successfully looting the stronghold, I decided to head out into the End because I needed to find that elytra. I witnessed the aftermath of the Ender Dragon battle. Now, I realised I'd forgotten to collect the egg at the end of my 100 days, so that's what I did. I found the end portal, so I built my way up. It took me a while, and then I built a secure platform around the end portal just in case something went wrong. I crossed my fingers and I threw the ender pearl. I was in the end, just on the edge. Wow. Now it was time to make it across. Could I make it? So I threw the pearl. Well, I need to improve my throwing game, because that was very, very risky. I spent an entire day looking for an end city, and I had no chance. I was out of my depth here, so I found my way back to the portal so I could make it back home. I'll deal with this later. Day 104 was upon us. I was fresh-faced, bright-eyed, ready to collect as much wood as I could. Why, you ask? Well, I wanted to build stables. Yes, I wanted somewhere specific for my horse because the wheat field just wasn't cutting it. So I collated everything in a chest, went to sleep, and got stuck in day 106. The barn extension was complete. My horse was content. Now, I couldn't think of a name for them, so if you guys want to come up with a name and put it in the comments below, that'd be fantastic. I spent the rest of day 108 making small modifications to the rest of the barn. My hunger for adventure started kicking in. I wanted to extend our tale, but I knew before I could do anything drastic, I needed full netherite armor, so I headed into the nether with fire resistance potions so I could look for some ancient debris. I also brought some TNT with me, just in case. I've also gained a friend, so I mean, that's a bonus. The nether wasn't so daunting this time round. I slurped up my fire resistance potion to defend myself against my biggest threat, lava, and then I got to work. Now, I found some ancient debris straight off the bat, but then after that, I found nothing for ages, so I got to work with my TNT in hopes that it would reveal some ancient debris, because my patience was very, very thin at this point. I just wanted my full netherite armor so I could go out there and discover more of Minecraft Hardcore Survival. And the results are in. Nothing. I had literally no luck here. No ancient debris whatsoever. So I carried on mining and mining and mining, and mining and mining and mining and mining in an attempt to get some more ancient debris. I put the hardcore in hardcore survival here. I did not stop mining. I found so much ancient debris, just enough to make enough scraps to upgrade 3 pieces. It was the end of day 112. I got back and I made my full netherite armor. Look at that, covered in debris. What a milestone reached. The next day gave me a headache. I was tired of walking all the way over to the town, so I wanted to get one of the villagers and move them to my hub, so it would save my legs. I can make trades quicker. So I headed over to the village and got a good night's sleep ready for the next day. Yeah, this was the most annoying task. I don't know if you've done this yourself, but it's very, very frustrating. It took me a whole day just to get the villager where I wanted him. I was so close. Almost there.
Okay.
Are you serious? You know what? I left him be, and I just decided to work on their home. The area where I would store my villagers was complete. I was pretty proud of it. I had a lot of torches around, which weren't aesthetically pleasing, but I just needed to keep mobs from spawning because, well, this happened. A creeper came out of nowhere, and I had to tackle him for a bit, and I spent too long on that for him to just ruin everything. It was moving day. Now, I had to remind the villager this was for his benefit and not because I couldn't be bothered to walk. I promise, I swear. And then I got him to the water and managed to pick up some speed. That's all I needed. Yes, get some speed in there. Into the minecart now. Push, push, push. That's all he needed. Just a little bit of pushing. Once he was... Okay, just get in the minecart. Yes, once he was in the minecart, I pushed him to his new home. But then he turns around and tells me, hey, look, I'm not trading with you unless you get my friend. Your friend? Seriously? So I headed back to the village to get his friend, which was a farmer, which was convenient for me. So I repeated the process. Push, 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 into the minecart, into their new home. I'd done it. Now it was feeding time. I had to get as much food, because if I could feed them, that would mean that they would breed. I spent the next day preparing to go to the Nether to kill the Wither skeletons. Yes, I wanted to kill the Wither. Mr. Mending had informed me of this devilish creature, and I knew I had to take him down. So I brewed a load of fire resistance potions. Oh, look, they had a baby. Thank goodness. And then I headed in to the Nether. I showed no mercy when hunting for the Wither skulls. I went all in. After slaughtering the undead, I found my first Wither skull. I was unstoppable. It was far from over. I headed home to resupply and make more potions, then got back to hunting. I was in no condition to carry on fighting, so I decided to spend the next few days tending to my villagers. I tried to get them to breed a little bit more, you know, give them a bit of private time. Kissy, kissy. They had a baby, and then I continued to sell all of my wheat for emeralds, so I could get more books of mending. I spent some time with my cows, and then I wanted to make some fast home improvements, so I got to work. I grabbed my materials. It was time to liven the place up. I call this the Dragon Slayer, a place where I could exhibit the hard work I put in to kill the Ender Dragon. Once I was finished, I headed back home, but I wasn't done just yet. I had another project in mind, so I got to work. The building wasn't over yet. I got out there and collected as much wood as I could because I was just feeling a little bit creative. I was ready for my next build. I was feeling so cozy at this point. I had my cool little zen area, my statue to exhibit my dragon egg. Wow, we'd achieved so much, but I had a long way to go, so I scored some points in Dreamland, ready for tomorrow. Day 141, I farmed up everything I could to make paper and wheat and then sold it to the villagers for some big bucks. Look at that, bring the emeralds in, bring them in. I then bought 2 books of mending which I applied to the rest of my armor. Let's go! I also made a fishing rod with Luck of the Sea too, because why not? Ah yes, day 142. I headed into my strip mine to mine for more twinkly XP and gather more diamonds. I almost got a stack. Oh, that twinkle sound never gets old. I headed back, end of day 142. Day 143, I made a pickaxe from the diamonds I'd mined and applied silk touch to it because I wanted to move a beehive from a nearby tree to the one I had built because I just felt like my tree was missing something, you know? I wanted to glam it up a little bit, but it was time to stop messing around. I needed to head back into the end because I really wanted that elytra. I wasn't ready for the wither just yet, I wasn't prepared, so I wanted to get as much confidence as I could before I fought the devilish beast, the wither. Looks like it was time to find that end city. The end city is no game. It is a sophisticated mess. Now, I did find an end city, but it didn't have a ship, and I didn't think it was worth risking it unless there was an elytra. So I just stuck my pumpkin mask on because Endermen were everywhere. I built outwards and finally found an end city with a ship. I moved in. It was pretty easy at first, you know. I made the advancement, moved in on one of the towers, taking out the shulker box out front. Now, these things completely threw me off. I did not expect them, that when they hit you, that you go flying into the air. I built up and made a huge mistake. I didn't expect so many to be around. I panicked. I tried to get out as quick as possible. I thought my feather falling will just... well, they'll take it. My slow falling potion will take the fall. I just need to get out of here. But actually, it turns out, well... they kind of helped me. Cheers, shulkers. I found a bunch of loot from the chest, and then I made my way over to the ship. I couldn't wait. I was so excited at the prospect of finally having my elytra. Ever since I saw through with it, I just really wanted it. I mined my way through. Now, obsidian was in the way, so I thought, how do I get past this? I'll just make a gap. Ah, yes. I was so close. This was my moment. I finally found the ship after... I could not believe it. How could I have been so reckless? I thought it was over. But I had feather falling. Thank goodness me. I got way back up into the ship. This was the moment. I attacked the shulker box. Easy. There she was. She was beautiful. Woo! Look at her. I was so excited. I added the elytra to my inventory. Sky's the limit, baby. I then headed to the edge of the boat to take the dragon's head and then jumped off using my slow falling potion. I headed home as quick as possible and added the dragon head to my Dragon Slayer statue. It was a real monument. I then added mending to my elytra. I was nervous. I didn't really know how to use this thing, so, I mean, let's give it a shot. Woo-hoo! That was awesome. Day 151 was here. I wanted to add just a little bit of elevation to my living space. Now, it's not the coolest looking tower I've ever seen, but it was something just to add a little bit of spice, some elevation to my home area. I then grabbed a load of bone meal because I wanted to make my space look really lived in, you know, overgrown grass, flowers. I then headed to the nether to get some beautiful rich colors to liven up the place. We were making some serious progress. I was really pleased with myself. I started to really fall in love with the space I lived in. I had paths connecting all the different sections. I then headed over to check if my villagers were okay and trade with them. I then spent day 156 collecting resources because I wanted to just continue building, you know. The Wither fight was just around the corner, but I just didn't feel quite prepared for him. Resource collection wasn't over yet though. I needed more supplies because I had a small build in mind and I needed wood for it. I dedicated the next few days to collecting that because I wanted to extend my living area because I wanted to build somewhere where I could fish. Hey, look at my little fishing hut. This is where I would store all of the food I collect from What is this? Somehow the villagers had found my location. How could this be? How did they find me? Caught off guard, I only had my bow, so I just went all in. I had to defend my home against the pillagers. I couldn't believe it. I spent the next few days just pondering on how the pillagers found my location. A villager must have given it away, or an old friend betrayed me. I knew there was more coming. I knew this wasn't over. I had to act quickly. I rapidly repaired my weaponry and headed out to protect my villagers from what was about to come. I could hear them coming. They were just around the corner. I quickly built up to make a platform to gain some height, and then I realized they brought an army. They peppered me with arrows from their crossbows, but I defended myself using my bow and shield. With all my attention on the horde of enemies, something had slipped past me. Something had snuck up and almost ended everything. With the first wave slaughtered, they sent another group of highly skilled pillagers. I collected my first totem of undying. It wasn't over. They sent another group towards me. I panicked. With the dog coming at me, I quickly threw my ender pearl to gain some space. Creating distance between us was the only way to beat these guys. The distance I had created was working perfectly. Each and every shot was calculated. I gathered even more totems of undying. I had quite the collection in my inventory. Now this guy was just too powerful. His minions had surrounded me. With another totem of undying in my inventory, I knew there was light at the end of the tunnel. I finished off the rest of the pillagers. Surely the end was soon. I could feel the end approaching. I finished off the last few, and it seemed to have calmed down. I think I'd done it. We'd done it. Hero of the village! Wow. I had one little guy to finish off, though. I mean, I asked if he wanted to be friends, but that didn't work out. I checked to see if my villagers were okay and everyone was safe. It had been a hard few days on these guys, as well as myself. I headed back home, where I was safe. I wanted to just relax. So I grabbed my fishing rod and went out to the docks. I spent my afternoon enjoying the sunset, fishing for food. With the Wither fight just around the corner, I needed to act fast. I collated all my totems of undying, then tended to my farm. I then spent time giving my villagers jobs. I had Infinity, which was great, and then headed over to another village to grab Unbreaking 3 so I could apply it to my Elytra. The Wither portrait was speaking out to me. It was time to fight the Wither. I headed into my strip mine because I wanted to spawn the Wither underground. I dedicated the next 10 days to leveling out the battleground, ready for the Wither. The fight was here. I was ready. I drank a strength potion and spawned him in. His ghoulish screams set my teeth on edge. His screams terrified me, but I powered through it. His shield had become impenetrable by bow, so I went in with my sword, striking at his tail. I had finally killed the Wither. I returned home, exhausted and battle-scarred, and removed the ghoulish painting from my wall and replaced it with something more appealing. Yes, it was time to now build the beacon. I powered up my beacon and sat back and enjoyed the view. I was really proud of this statue. We'd done it. We had survived 200 days. Another great extension to our tale. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. It has been a lot of hard work, but I'm really, really proud of it. Like always, I'm the Coffee Fuel Genius. Peace out.